It was the twilight of karma for billionaires, but Trump was still on the heights of debonair, despite having no Obamacare for that ski jump on his hair. Yet the tide came in on his residency in the silhouette of a Biden presidency. And Joe was relatively aware, for someone who was cognitively impaired. He reached out to the affluent in speeches that were incongruent. And doctors wrote Joe a prescription, but there was no antidote for fiction. Bereft Joe was left of status quo, and he became the co-signer for the rise of China once they realized he was Pinocchio from the diner. It couldn't have been defined any blunter for prosecutors when Hunter's mind became Hooters on a disclaimed computer that high-tech never even tried to dissect. He was on a board in Ukraine while floored on cocaine, and as he slumbered at crack motels, which now outnumber Taco Bells, the oligarchs at Sunny Burisma saw that dark money had charisma. Our government was not above being for rent, and we thought it could have been a cleaner election, but then Anthony Weiner got an erection. Gas prices rose as past vices juxtapose. They airbrushed the illusions with Russian collusion, and Adam Schiff's eyes then widened in despair when Biden tried to sniff his hair. Joe deserted Afghanistan to the perverted Taliban, and as the costs rose for the disheartened banks who lost all those Lockheed Martin tanks, Joe said, "If we can't make a few errors on a list of guns, then the terrorists have won." Biden's attention disorder widened the extension of our border. But though Orwell dabbled in the apocalyptic, Joe's babble about the cartel was cryptic. And it was wonderland at the spa until the contraband arrived from Bogota with fentanyl designers from Central China. Look, Joe's got more omens than the Book of Romans, but in the dreams of Hollywood, melancholy seemed good as artisans and derelicts from Sony to Universal practiced the phony bipartisan conflict at rehearsal. They distilled the quid pro quo attack to the letter, and Joe would build Prozac better. But as the noted famed stars became bipolar, they all wrote the same memoir. Biden then sent the Far East a letter of regrets for not having been a better Chinese marionette. But Nancy Pelosi, who looked like Bela Lugosi, didn't care about the divide fading, for she became a multi-millionaire through insider trading. Then, Joe's State of the Union address could have been equated with madness, but there is no rehab for discontent in the establishment, where it seemed the American dream would sleep late in the deep state, as Joe Biden and Blinken didn't even know the Poseidon was sinking. Sleepy Joe would break everything that wasn't broke, and even though he's not quite awake, he is woke. But in the distillery of bureaucratic karma, aristocrats like Hillary and Obama saw that Joe's protocol for nirvana would never be revived, so they all went to see Rihanna live. The altered left-wing arena never halted theft by Beijing with subpoenas. And as the Jaunty Joe Marathon became Monty Python, the Fourth Estate of Minions would manipulate opinions. Yet there was no embargo on the banquets with escargot for the jet set at Mar-a-Lago. But it might be too late then to make America great again, for there is no Camelot-like remedy just because Joe thought he was Kennedy. And that's why non compos mentis was never on The Apprentice. The depraved mirth that multiplied in bureaucratic desire gave birth to Biden's democratic satire, and the gravity of that dire fate is like the reign of depravity who reincarnates with liars and feigned debates amid the search for the file in our video game millennium while churches became condominiums. It was framed in a Silicon Valley memoranda as the famed icons dallied in propaganda, wired by ambitions of higher jurisdictions. And the liberal press was like rapture for the Chinese because Congress could not capture the beast. They would try to sell facts based on abstract fictions, and that's why hell is packed with politicians.